If you're tired of being overlooked, ignored in conversations, brushed off in social settings, or walking away from moments thinking, I should have said something, then listen closely. Because if there's one skill that can flip your entire social life upside down, it's boldness. Boldness is not about arrogance. It's not about shouting louder or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about having the courage to act while everyone else hesitates. It's about doing what needs to be done even when it makes your heart race. And here's the truth most people don't want to admit. Boldness isn't some rare talent. It's a decision, a choice, a muscle, and just like any muscle, it gets stronger the more you use it. So in this video, I'm not going to teach you how to fake confidence. I'm not going to give you lines or tricks. I'm going to show you how to become the kind of person who commands attention, respect, and admiration without begging for it. I want to make something very clear from the start. I am not here to teach you how to muster up the courage to say hi to someone at a party. That's child's play. I'm here to show you how to reach a level of boldness that shakes rooms, that makes people stop and notice you. The kind of boldness where you can walk up to someone you barely know and say what others don't even dare to think. You want to know how to do that? Let's start with the truth. Part 1. Why boldness works in every area of life, from your relationships to your career to the way strangers treat you. Everything gets easier when you're bold. Let's go back to the basics. Imagine a tribal society hundreds of years ago. No social media, no Instagram, just human instinct. The bold man in the tribe, the one who spoke up, who stood tall, who acted without hesitation. He wasn't just noticed, he was respected. He was seen as a leader, even if he wasn't the strongest physically, because boldness signaled certainty. And certainty equals safety. Fast forward to today. We still run on the same ancient software. When someone walks into a room with conviction, speaks with clarity, moves with purpose, our subconscious instantly thinks, that person must know what they're doing. And here's the magic of it. People don't respond to what you do. They respond to how you feel about what you're doing. You could say the weirdest thing, but if you say it like it's the most natural, unapologetic thing in the world, people won't question it. They'll follow your lead, but here's where most people screw it up. They think boldness is risky, that it'll make them look weird or try hard or embarrassing. That's only true when you believe it yourself. Which brings us to the real problem, embarrassment. Part 2. Embarrassment is a chemical lie. Let me break something to you that no one teaches in school. Embarrassment isn't real. It's not about other people. It's your brain's survival system misfiring. Think about it. What is embarrassment? Really, it's a chemical reaction. Your body releases adrenaline and cortisol when it thinks you're in danger, but you're not being attacked, you're not about to die. You're just afraid of looking silly. Now here's the insane part. I could inject those same hormones into your bloodstream right now without anyone watching you, and you'd still feel embarrassed. You'd feel flushed, you'd want to hide. But it wouldn't be because of anyone's opinion, it would be just the chemicals. Let that sink in. You don't have a problem with people, you have a problem with your chemistry. Once you understand that, everything starts to shift. You realize embarrassment is just a feeling, and feelings can be controlled. Bold people don't avoid embarrassment. They lean into it so much that it loses all its power. And guess what happens when you do that? People stop laughing at you and start laughing with you. Because here's a secret about human nature most people don't realize. People don't react to what you do, they react to how you react to what you do. Let me give you a real-life example. Imagine two guys walking down the street. They both trip and fall. Guy number 1 stumbles, panics, turns red, and mutters something like, "Oh my god, I'm such an idiot." He looks around, scared. And what happens? People laugh at him. He becomes the butt of the joke. He'll think about it all week. Now imagine guy number 2. He falls, then immediately pops up and starts laughing. He says, "Damn, that was smooth," with a big smile on his face. What do people do? They laugh with him. They admire him. They think this guy's unshakable. Same event, completely different energy. Why? Because people don't care about the event. They care about your energy. This is one of the most powerful psychological truths in human interaction. If you do something awkward, stupid, or unexpected but you react with confidence and humor, people won't judge you. They'll respect you because they sense you're in control. And we are drawn to people who are in control of themselves. So here's what I want you to understand. Every time you feel fear about doing something bold, your brain is trying to protect you from a punishment that doesn't even exist. You think people will laugh. They won't. You think they'll reject you. Maybe, but you'll survive. You think you'll feel awkward only if you let yourself. So how do you stop embarrassment from hijacking your brain? You stop feeding it, and the best way to do that is by changing your body before you change your mind. Part 3. Change your body first. Then your mind follows. Most people wait until they feel confident before they act. That's a trap because feelings come and go. They're fragile, they lie to you. If you sit around waiting for the perfect mental state, you'll be waiting forever. So instead of trying to fix your thoughts, fix your posture. Your body language is the remote control to your emotions. When you stand tall, open your chest, raise your chin, and smile even when it feels fake, your brain interprets those signals as confidence. And over time, it becomes real. This is scientifically backed. Harvard studies have shown that power posing for just 2 minutes reduces cortisol stress and increases testosterone confidence. You literally change your chemical makeup by how you stand and move. So next time you're about to speak up, approach someone, or do something bold, don't think, move, plant your feet. Lift your head, smile like you already won. Forget about what you're going to say, just focus on how you're carrying yourself. Because when your body says, I belong here, the room listens. That's the trick most confident people use. They're not fearless, they just move like they are. And here's the beautiful part, when you control your body, your mind follows. Your breathing slows, your focus sharpens, the panic fades. This is how you start winning battles before they even begin. Part 4, the NPC mindset. The cheat code to stop caring. Let's talk about something that completely rewires how you see people. It's called the NPC mindset. If you've ever played video games, you know what an NPC is, a non-playable character. They're in the game, but they're not really alive. They're just background, pre-programmed, repeating the same lines, looping the same behaviors. Now here's the punchline. Most people in the real world are exactly like that. They're not really thinking about you. They're not judging you. They're stuck in their own world, obsessing over their own insecurities. You think that girl you walked past is noticing your awkward body language? She's probably stressing about whether her makeup is smudged or if someone saw her pimple. You think that group of people is paying attention to your every move? They're busy overanalyzing what they just said 5 minutes ago. When you finally internalize this, you stop playing scared, you stop editing yourself, you stop asking for permission to be who you are. You realize no one's watching you as closely as you think. And even if they are, so what's the worst case scenario? They think you're weird, they laugh, you get rejected? Good, because here's the paradox no one tells you. The moment you stop caring about what others think of you is when they start respecting you the most. Part 5. Tension is power. Use it to attract respect. Let's break another myth. People think boldness pushes others away, that it's aggressive, over the top, maybe even rude. But that's only true if your boldness comes from ego. Real boldness is clean, it's calm, it's grounded. And it creates one thing that is magnetic in social situations: tension. Tension is that energy you feel when something unexpected happens. When someone says the truth in a room full of liars. When someone stays silent instead of rushing to fill the awkward pause. When someone makes eye contact and doesn't look away. Tension is power. Most people crumble under tension. They rush to explain themselves. They fidget. They laugh nervously. But bold people, they lean into it because they know something the average person doesn't. People admire those who can hold pressure. Want to leave an impression that lasts? Put yourself in bold situations. and stay calm while everyone else flinches. That's how you show strength without raising your voice. Part 6. The real reward of boldness. You already know boldness puts you under pressure, but here's why it's worth it. You always walk away with something. Sometimes you get the result you wanted: success, admiration, attraction. That's the external reward. Other times, even if it fails, you gain something much more powerful: self-respect. Every time you choose the bold move, you're proving to yourself that you're the kind of person who takes action despite fear. That builds inner confidence, quiet, unshakable confidence. The kind that doesn't need validation. Let's say you ask someone out and get rejected, you still win because you acted. And action builds identity. You stop being the guy who wishes and start being the guy who does. Over time, you build a reputation with yourself. And that reputation is the most important one you'll ever have. Part 7. Boldness isn't a tactic. It's who you are. This is where most people fail. They try to use boldness like a tool. Only when it's safe, only when they feel like it. But boldness doesn't work like that. You can't use it once in a while and expect people to treat you differently. Boldness has to become your operating system. You need to start seeing yourself as the bold guy, not someone pretending, but someone who lives that way. It's not about showing off, it's about refusing to play small. It's about being fully alive in every room you walk into. And no, it doesn't mean being loud or reckless. It means acting even when it's uncomfortable. Speaking up when it's risky, moving forward when you're scared. That's what separates men who are remembered from men who are forgotten. Part 8. The final truth most never understand. You don't become bold by reading quotes on Instagram. You don't become bold by imagining yourself being confident. You become bold by doing the thing over and over. When your voice shakes, speak anyway. When your hands sweat, reach out anyway. When your mind says wait, move anyway. Every time you do, you kill off the weaker version of you. The one that hesitates, the one that asks for permission, the one that overthinks and stays quiet. You bury him and you rise stronger. One bold action at a time, and eventually it's no longer a performance. It's just who you are now. So if you're still watching, I want you to remember this. The world doesn't reward the smartest or the nicest. It rewards the bold. Pressure is not your enemy. It's your arena. Fear is not a wall. It's a doorway, and boldness is not an accessory. It's your birthright. This was the Dark Needle. Now go out there and do something bold. Because you're not waiting anymore. You're leading now.